Good morning, this is Shelby Law with the Great Basin Fire Potential Briefing for Thursday, August 4th, 2016. The main fire potential impact for the next few days is the moisture surging northward throughout the Great Basin starting today and continuing into Friday and Saturday. Thunderstorms produced by this moisture will encounter very dry fuels and extremely high fire danger indices, and therefore new initial attack and chance for new large fires is definitely expected in northern Nevada and up into Idaho and western Wyoming. After the weekend, we'll see some drier air spread into the area and some breezy winds starting into the Great Basin beginning as early as Friday into the first part of next week. Quite a bit of lightning activity was observed over the southern and southeast portions of the Great Basin. Some heavy precipitation amounts were also observed, particularly over southwest Utah with up to 2 inches of precipitation. Current fire activity is shown on this map with the bulk of the activity over portions of Utah and southeast Idaho. Fire danger values are still extremely high over Idaho, northern Nevada, and northwest Utah, with most of these stations above the 90th percentile and many of them even above the 97th percentile. Live fuel moisture continues to be very low across the northern valleys as well, with a few stations even nearing or surpassing the historical low for the period of record. This morning's water vapor imagery shows the center of the high pressure located just off to the east. That's what's going to allow the moisture pooled over the southern Utah to spread northward throughout the Great Basin. We'll also see temperatures decrease somewhat over the next few days from the very high values we've seen over the past week to 10 days. Significant fire potential triggers have been issued for central Nevada today, as we'll see the moisture move northward and that mix of wet and dry thunderstorms pop up in those areas. Thunderstorm coverage is shown on this map with the very low relative humidities over northern Nevada, northwest Utah, and much of Idaho. Heavy rainfall with some of those thunderstorms over southern Utah is expected once again today. On Friday, the moisture continues to move northward and we'll see thunderstorms move up into northern Nevada, northern Utah, and throughout the state of Idaho and western Wyoming. For this reason, high-risk triggers have been issued for much of the northern portions of the area for that mix of wet and dry thunderstorms, especially occurring over extremely dry fuels. Some drying over western Nevada will begin to take place as dry westerly winds move into those areas. On Saturday, continued dryness moves into Nevada under increasing southwest flow, but some moisture lingers across northern and eastern Idaho, western Wyoming, and northwest Utah, where the threat for new initial attack and large fires remains elevated. We'll begin to see this low pressure system move into the Pacific Northwest, and that's what's bringing the drier air into western portions of the Great Basin. A decrease in thunderstorm activity over the west is noted here, while thunderstorms will continue over Idaho, western Wyoming, and eastern Utah. Very low relative humidities spread throughout the state of Nevada. 3-day precipitation accumulation is shown here with the best chance for precipitation over southern Utah and portions of eastern Nevada. Elsewhere across the north, thunderstorms will be on the drier side. By Sunday, thunderstorm coverage will really be decreasing across pretty much everywhere except for maybe continuing over eastern Utah as that low drops a little bit further south into the Pacific Northwest. Temperatures will begin to rise once again over the Great Basin under this warm, dry southwest flow. On Monday, the low continues to move eastward, bringing that warm and dry southwest flow to the Great Basin. On Tuesday, that low could bring some precipitation and cooler temperatures to the northern half of Idaho as it skirts across the northern Rockies. And some of these showers could continue into Wednesday, depending on exactly where that low tracks across the north. Precipitation accumulation for the 7-day period doesn't change too much from the 3-day period, although for the first half of next week, some precipitation is possible over the central Idaho mountains, associated with that low moving across the northern Rockies. The extended outlook for the second week of August is finally calling for normal to slightly below normal temperatures over the Great Basin and a below normal precipitation signal. This concludes today's fire potential briefing. Please check back tomorrow for the latest updates.